Thanks. Good morning, everyone. It's great to see all of you. We had a little break from our last huddle, but I'm glad to be back with you. And we thought we could start by going around and checking in again, just seeing how everyone is doing, updates from your communities. And also if there are any things that you need from us or any things that you need from anyone, just needs in your community, needs in your school district, needs that your staff or students have. Any of those things. So let's just go around and kind of in popcorn fashion, have folks step forward and update us on things in your community.
I'll go first. Good morning, Commissioner. Good morning, staff.
Good morning, Denise. Thank you.
Things in Letcher County are improving. Our schools have had a wonderful, smooth start. We've been in buildings the last few days, actually, of last week and yesterday, and kids are engaged. They're doing good work, and they are resilient. Being dislocated or relocated doesn't seem to have bothered them at all. So things are going well on that front. We've had electrical companies and groups in looking at our buildings and have started the bid process to get the restoration started. We still have some extreme needs in our community for temporary housing. We do have a few students who are still in tents and lots of students that are in temporary housing. So we're working with those families and our local government to try to get them placed.
Excellent.
Other than that, things are going well.
Excellent. Great progress, Denise. And how about roads and bridges in your community?
They are improving. We've been able to go back into 2 or 3 different places than when we started just a couple of weeks ago. So they are making progress. Some of the places are taking longer because of the great need and the shape that they were in, but things are improving. And we still don't have that package plant that we fought so hard for. To my knowledge, it's still not in. So it's a good thing that we got other things worked out and we're able to start school.
Great. And any updates on your attendance and enrollment?
Our enrollment has dropped about 150, and of those students, the majority have moved to other districts. So we've lost enrollment, and our attendance has been horrible. The last week, particularly, illness has hit hard. We have a lot of strep, flu, and COVID, of course. So those things aren't the best, but hopefully in a couple of weeks that it will have run its course and we'll be in good shape.
Great. Okay. Thank you very much, Denise. All right. Check in from others.
I'll go next, Commissioner. Prairie County, we've been in several weeks. We're approaching our first 6-week grading period, so excited about that. As Denise said, attendance is not great. We're hovering between 89 and 91, 92 on a good day. A lot of illness. We've probably lost about 50 students, but the good thing is a lot of our families have finally been moved into some temporary housing. The travel trailers and things like that are set up in the park, and that's a good thing. Next week, we're on fall break Thursday and Friday. When we come back from fall break, we're going to shift our focus to making sure that we include all of those families. We do a Thanksgiving feed, an outreach program, and we want to make sure, even though they are in those temporary trailers, it's not really optimal conditions to fix the Thanksgiving dinner. So we want to make sure that we're including all of those families in that program, and then shifting to what can we do for those students and families for Christmas. We know it's hard, and again, we're glad to have them out of the cold weather, but those travel trailers are not really conducive to Christmas trees and things of that nature. So we want to make sure that we're providing gifts for families and kids that were impacted by the flood. That's going to be our next top priority. And honestly, it feels like it's been a year since that flood. I know that's hard to understand, but it does. It seems like it was forever ago, and it's only been less than 3 months, I guess. But it does seem like it's been a long time ago. But the new school or the old school that we renovated, things are going well down there. We're just happy that we had that facility and happy that we could get started quicker than we originally thought. But yeah, things are going well. Appreciate the support from all of superintendents across the state and the department and state and local government. They've all been so helpful and in every aspect, from debris removal to getting roads passable, not really completely fixed, but passable so that we can reach all of our students. So
great. And any updates on the two schools that are that you can't use right now, on what the future looks like for them?
Buckhorn has been completely cleaned out. So we've got some architects going to be on site in the next few days there to start the process of renovating that facility. Robinson was a total loss. We can't really even access that property with anything other than by foot because there was so much damage to the bridges. So as quickly as we can get some heavy equipment over there, we'll start the demolition process there. That property was in the floodplain, so that eliminates the option to rebuild there. There's really, on 476, there's really not any property that I would think would be viable to rebuild, just because so much of it was affected by the last flood. So don't know. I mean, we're looking for different options. Of course, looking at property that would be potential site. We're down probably about 25 or 30 students there that have went to other schools in our county or in surrounding counties. So, you know, we're hoping we can maintain at least a certain level of enrollment when we start talking about moving forward with what are next steps.
Thank you. Thank you. Others?
Commissioner, this is Damian Johnson with Jenkins. You know, we're school's going well. We're able to get in our building. It's not pretty, but it's certainly usable, and it's actually better than I thought it would be. We focused all of our attention to getting in, of course, and now that we are in the building, we're looking at you know, it's hard to have an elementary school where the kids can't go outside, so we're moving our attention trying to get some fencing up so that they can actually go outside and have recess. We have a preschool in the church next door. That's going well, so we will start soon on the demo of that so that we can move forward with constructing a new preschool building. And we've had several organizations that's reached out and it's really helped us. We have Dollar General that's doing supply giveaway at both of our buildings today. We have a Rotary Club that's coming in on Friday, and all of our flood impacted victims are receiving a $250 gift card for support, whatever they need. Our attendance is not good. We're running in the upper 80s most days, but we have had a pretty significant increase in enrollment from this, of about 70 kids.
Good to hear. Great progress, Damian. And are you building the preschool back on that same wing that you had to destroy the old one?
We are. It will be in the same place, but it will be a little bigger. And one we had was a modular addition. This one will be a brick and mortar. So it'll meet current code, and was actually probably the most unattractive part of the building, and it will probably turn into the most attractive. So I look forward to it.
Great, thank you. Thank you. Updates from others?
Yes, Commissioner, this is Brent Hoover, Knott County. Sorry, I was a few minutes late getting in here. I got stuck in a hornet's nest this morning. So, but anyway, we in Knott County, everything is running well. It's going good. We finally got all of our data cleaned up in Infinite Campus this week, and I'm very, very excited to say that we have current enrollment of 2,052 students. We ended the year last year with 2,066. So we have 49 students virtual. So our attendance looks really good. At the beginning of the year, we initially thought that we were going to be down around 150. But anyway, very excited to get all that cleaned up. We are making progress in our buildings. We're still on concrete. The tile has been bid and a bid accepted. The issue is, by FEMA guidelines, we have to buy the quantity that is needed to do the entire job in order to get the discount that FEMA requires. And as a result, there's going to be a delay in getting the tile. So it's looking like probably January before we'll start getting shipments of tile in. That's all.
Thank you, Brett. And I think we've all been in that same hornet's nest. All right. Any others that have updates from their communities?
Good morning, Commissioner. This is Anna Shepherd in Floyd. This is our 8th week in, and our attendance is around 86 to 90, goes from 86 to 90% daily. Our enrollment is up 105 students from ending last year. However, I think most all of those are homeschool students that we have back. We still have 2 staff living at the state park. And so we had 9. So we have 2 now that's still at the state park. We've got 2 have gotten in homes, and 5 others are staying with family. We've gone from 35 students and the 17 families at the state park down to 23 students that's been bused from the state park, either the lodge there or the campers. And that's about 14 of our families still living there. Much like what Jonathan shared, our family resource centers and schools are working on goals for those families around the holidays, and the staff and the students that we still have displaced. And I just also want to echo what everyone has said continuously, but thank you for our entire region for the support of the Kentucky Department of Education and our state and local government for this entire region being where we are, because it's amazing to drive through the week after and then now to see what all the progress that has been made through cleanup, and that, you know, it is amazing that Jonathan and Denise and Brent and some of those places that they are in schools and serving kids. So just a huge thank you to everyone for all the help and the support.
Thank you, Anna. Great to hear from you and your district, and you're always impeccably dressed today, as always. Others?
Commissioner Wayne Sizemore, Jackson Independent. I can't follow Anna's dress because we're on fall break, so I'm dressed down just a little bit, Anna. Sorry about that. But much needed break. Jackson Independent talked with our building principal before we left, and she said, Wayne, you know, we've gone nonstop over the last 3 months, and it's true. We always do, but it's just been a little different. But we're on week 8, just as Anna said. We're in the same boat. Attendance has been around 92, 93%. So we're keeping that push, the focus on attendance, but with illness, it's hit us as well. A couple of strong points. We did have a UK Rural Health and Breathitt County Health Department. They visited our school. We did a community health and college and career night for our community. We had a really great showing with that, but we also paired that with family resource, and we were able to do a coat drive that evening. So wonderful collaboration within our community, and we were excited to do that piece. I want to do a thank you for Denise. Letcher County Schools hosted regional championship, soccer championship, did a phenomenal job with everything that's been on their plate to host regional. You all did a great job. We appreciate that, Denise. And also a shout out to Wolfe County Board of Education and Kenny Bell. They donated a very substantial amount of money for our school district for supplies. So I want to give a thank you to that group.
Excellent. Good progress, Wayne. And it sounds like you have the same attendance and illness struggles that everyone else is having also. Other superintendents and updates from their communities.
This is Sandra Combs, Hazard Independent. Hello, everyone. Just wanted to let you all know school is going great. The only sad part is we're running around 90% attendance. We like to be up there around at least 94, 95. That was our big push before COVID. So we have made that a high priority in trying to get students involved and having some contests by grade level. But our families that were affected by the flood, we're really excited. We've been talking with all of them, and they're working on their own homes, trying to get back into those, or they're looking at purchasing double wides. So we've talked about having family household showers for our families and helping them. And also along the lines that Jonathan said, we're looking for the holidays, how we can help them even with Halloween costumes, Thanksgiving dinner, Christmas, all that. Also, we're trying to help our families. We had several that lost important papers, so we're trying to help our families get birth certificates, anything they need like that. We're trying to help them out on that. Also, I want to thank Denise for starting the coat drive for all the counties that were affected by the flood. Rhonda Caldwell has been pushing and trying to make sure it is getting colder. I mean, today it's supposed to be 75, but it was 39 degrees this morning. So there's a lot of things you don't think about in the future going forward. So we're all trying to work together and make sure these families have what they need and feel good. And being in school is the best place for the kids. They are just excited to be there, and we're trying to support them all we can. And thank you and everyone that's stayed on top of it, and not just for a little bit, but the long haul. We're in it, and we're going to try to take care of everyone. So thank you.
Great. Thank you, Sandra. Other updates? I think I saw Philip Watts come on.
Oh, yes, Commissioner. I'm traveling. It's fall break, trying to rest and recharge. I don't have much signal, so I just echo what everyone else says, and just very appreciative of the department and all the resources that we're providing to the families during this time. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Philip. All right, any more updates from our flood impacted districts? Otherwise, I'd like to recognize Brother Lenny Whalen, who's on with us, and he can give us a little update from Western Kentucky.
Thank you, Commissioner. What I'm hearing and seeing from everyone sounds like folks are really starting to kind of get rolling a little bit and get some things in order, and it's a lengthy process. I will hit on a couple things that I heard here. Jonathan, you mentioned Christmas knocking on the door and things like that. Here, when the tornado hit in Western Kentucky, our Walmarts were unbelievably generous to help with Christmas things and things of that nature, as well as if you guys feel the need to put out an all-call, if you will, across the state, that Christmas items are needed, toys, etc. I'd caution you, because when you put out that call, you know how this goes. You're going to have probably more than you want, but there will be a lot of people standing at the ready, myself included, to help deliver toys, Christmas needs, should you all need that. I just wanted to throw that out there. And then the next thing that I wanted to hit on, because we saw this too, with it getting cold, there may be folks in some different areas that got campers and other things that's going to be running generators and things like that. I just be careful and really put the word out locally. People want to be careful and make sure they're using those generators in areas where they're well ventilated and things like that, because that could create a major problem and create some issues that nobody really needs. But those are just two things that I heard mentioned. Sounds great. Some of the things you got going on, and as always, if any of you have any questions, we're almost we're closed in on a year here in Dawson Springs, about 10 months. So if there's anything I can do to help, please reach out, and I'll do my best to give you the info I have.
Thank you, Lenny. Just a pause here and make sure we haven't missed anyone who wants to provide an update from their community. Okay, hearing none, we'll jump over to Tony for a few communications updates.
Thank you, Commissioner. I'm going to share my screen. I don't have a lot, but I have just a couple that I really wanted to get in front of you today. The first one I saw yesterday, and it came from East Hardin Middle School Beta Club, who visited Knott County and they had collected some school supplies needed for Hyman Elementary, and they went there and donated the supplies. But also what I thought was really neat was an $8,700 check so that students from Hyman can go to the state beta convention. So really important that, you know, students get back to normal and be able to do all the things that they were able to do prior to flooding. And I thought this was a great example of yet again, another example of our schools that are helping other schools to kind of get back to that normal. So I thought that was really great. The other thing I wanted to mention to you is that we've extended this is to the end of the day today. And I've heard so many wonderful stories of particularly, I mean, all staff, but educational support staff. This is an opportunity to nominate them for an award and have us and the Lieutenant Governor come out and visit and to give this award to classified staff. So there'll be 2 awards that'll be given. The nomination period closes today. We extended it by 1 day. I can send you the link I'll send you the PowerPoint, but the link is right there. This is for anybody in any district across the state who meet these criteria: excellent work performance, are involved in the school and community, leadership and commitment, local support, and also enhancement of classified school employees' image in community and schools. Our 2 state nominees will be picked by the governor's office and then submitted to the U.S. Department of Education, and they will be put into the hopper for the national award. So I just wanted to get this in front of you again, just since today's the last day. I know you all have had numerous wonderful support from all of your staff, but this is a particular opportunity to recognize those support staff that did some wonderful things for your districts during your recovery phase. And I believe that is all I have today. And I can toss off to Valoria, Commissioner, if that's okay.
That sounds great. Thanks. Valoria, come right on.
Good morning, everybody. One of the things I wanted to talk to you about is I say we, like I'm paying bills too with you guys, but as you're paying the contractor bills and things like that, funds are getting strained. You know, your operational budgets may be getting strained. As you know, there are alternative fundings out there, but some of them, like say, for instance, the Kentucky State Fund, I was talking to Robin Morley a little bit about that this morning, and you know how to work around maybe for that, but I'm not sure if that's going to really work. I think probably the best thing to do with the Kentucky State Fund is just to wait for the FEMA funds, and then you can apply for those. But there are other things that we can do. In Letcher County, what we did was we broke away, the best way to put it is we broke away the ServPro bill and made her ServPro bill its own project. What does that do? That ServPro bill is already paid. All the work is already completed, so that can move forward quicker rather than waiting for other pieces and parts of a project to get done. So if you start to feel that strain, definitely, you know, let someone know, and we can work with you, work with the PDMG to try to get those things done. The other piece of information is we've had some restructuring within our departments. And from today on, I will not have all the schools. Each county will have their own liaison, rather than me being the liaison for everyone. Of course, I'm here, you know, for any needs that you may have. I'm actually going to be in Knott County. It's going to be my county. All of the other liaisons will be reaching out to you. I'll just give you some names to reference. Bob Garrett will have Breathitt County. And then in Clay and Perry counties, you'll be hearing from Josh Milner. And then in Leslie, Cumberland County, you'll be hearing from Craig Eddis, Eddis. Of course, I'm in Knott County. In Letcher, you're going to be hearing from Alan Kellogg. In Pike County, you're going to be hearing from John Hopkins. In Owsley, Lee, and Casey County, you're going to be hearing from Kenneth Trahan. In Martin, Floyd, and McGuffin, you're going to be hearing from Bridget Kennedy. And I believe that is it. But those people will be reaching out to you in the next day or so. Actually, they'll be reaching out to you today so that you'll have a way to contact them going forward. But that is all that I have today. And please count me in on whatever you're doing for the coat drive.
Thank you, Valoria. Let's go ahead and shift over to Robin Kinney and Robin Morley for updates from the Office of Finance and Operations and some of the supports we have in state.
Good morning, everyone. It's nice to be with you here this morning. If I can start, I'm going to ask a couple of questions for Valoria, if she can kind of tag team me with this. This is on construction. As I've listened to a lot of our districts, they're moving forward and trying to continue to work on repairs, or I heard demolition in the comments this morning, and rebuilds and replacement of buildings. So Valeria, can you give us a little more on timing and sequence of construction? Specifically, we talked a little bit about site inspections and the importance of site inspections and how that comes into play as far as when FEMA is looking to pay reimbursement for costs expended around construction. So I know a lot of our districts have consultants that are working with them. But if you don't have a consultant, I'm always asking Valoria these questions about, we don't want to do anything that jeopardizes our ability to receive reimbursement from FEMA. So can you hit on construction a little bit and things that people should keep in mind as they're moving forward?
Absolutely. One of the main things to keep in mind is you're going to have a lot of people knocking at your door for a lot of things. I would strongly encourage you to wait for that site inspection before you start hiring contractors. That's going to give you a real good idea of what your parameters are, what can be paid for and what will not be paid for. Because what I would hate for you to do, and what I've seen in the past, is that even with, let me say this, FEMA's objective is to do two things. They're going to either build it back the way that it was, or they're going to build it to code, okay? Actually, the build it to code comes first. So if it wasn't completely to today's code, they're going to build it to code. If it is, of course, they're going to build it back the way that it was. They're going to build it back with what you had before, unless those supplies are not available anymore. But I think I was at Breathitt and we were talking about that type of thing. Just wait for the site inspection and see, and they're trying to do those site inspections as quickly as possible. If you run into something that you just really need to get, check with your PDMG first before you hire a contractor, because they can give you the best guess estimate on whether you're going to be like way out of the boundaries on that, because we just don't want, I could have sworn I put that on silent. None of us want to see you get in a position to where you're doing really expensive things that you can't be reimbursed for. Again, you're all going to have liaisons. That's somebody else that you can work with, bounce those ideas off of. Have that person there when you're talking to contractors. They've got a wealth of information. We've all been, through this path before, so we can definitely be available. If we can't drive to you in time, we can be available on Teams, we can be on the phone, whatever. Just know that that person is available to you. Even if you have a consultant, we will definitely step in wherever it is that you need us to step in. But please wait for your site visits so that you'll have an idea of what's going to be covered first. Does that answer your question?
It does, Valoria. And when we talk about site inspections, is that just for the case that we have a building that we do not plan to go back into, and we're talking about a new build somewhere? Or is this broader site inspections for all the work that's going on in our buildings? That it's not, we're past the emergency, we've taken actions and steps to make sure that we can have kids in building, but there's still things that need to be done. So is the site inspection for everything, or is it just for those buildings that are maybe deemed a total loss and we're looking to relocate or rebuild?
It is for what we call permanent work, okay? For permanent work, for repair or replace. So anything that needs to be repaired or replaced to make it permanent. So like you said, the emergency measures part, we've already got through that. We've done the temporary, like it would be equivalent to putting tarps on a roof. So we've already put the tarps on the roof to protect the roof, to protect the insides. Now we're going back and we're going to build the roof to stay there. So what we're doing now, the site inspection, is for the permanent repairs.
So I guess my takeaway from this on behalf of the districts is make sure that we're talking with our FEMA representative, make sure that we're talking to our EMS liaison, as well as our consultants that are helping us, just to make sure that everyone has the same understanding moving forward and we have the best chance of getting that reimbursement from FEMA.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you very much. I just wanted to make sure, because I hear lots of construction questions and repairs going on. Just want to make sure that we're all moving in the same direction. Thank you. The other thing that I had to share was I was going to talk a little bit about the strained fiscal liquidity, and Valoria talked about that a little bit, but wanted to make sure that districts are aware that if you are paying those bills out for your cleanup efforts and just the things related to the damage itself, and you find yourself that you are depleting your operating or your contingency funds, paying all those bills, and you find yourself in a situation that you can see far enough ahead that you're going to have some strained fiscal liquidity, then there is money available in the emergency management area to help with that. So this money is not there to pay the bill. So it's not there to pay your ServPro bill, but it's after you have incurred those expenses and you're using money you would typically use for operations, and you find yourself you're not going to have adequate funds to operate, then you can fill out a template. We have actually received one already that we're in review with right now. We don't want you to wait to the point that you are in a dire situation. We want to work with you before that to prevent that from happening. So the District Support Services, a division in my office, has a template that you can fill out and we can work through with you. We really would like to have a phone call with you and your district superintendent and finance officer and kind of walk you through the process and fill this out. And then KDE approves sort of your disclosure that you're having fiscal liquidity problems. We then submit that with you to emergency management and they fund that for you. This is I would call it like a revolving loan fund, in that it allows that bridge of operating funds to come to you until you can receive your proceeds from either insurance or FEMA. Once you receive those proceeds, then you pay the fund back and it helps the next district or the next city or county government. So just wanted to make sure that everyone is aware that is available. And again, we would really like the opportunity to have a phone call with you if you are looking in the future and you see this is something that you might need to take advantage of. And we can walk you through the process, get your numbers on the template, be able to support that request, and then move it on to emergency management. So just wanted to make sure that everyone is aware that that is still out there and available. And if you have any questions, of course, you can always contact me or you can contact Che Ritter in the Division of District Support Services. And I think that's all I have for the update today.
Okay, thanks very
So I
much,
get-
Robin. Any questions for Robin or for Valoria or for Tony and I? Okay, thank you. Hearing none, I think we should talk about the frequency of these huddles. Is there a need or desire to continue holding these, and at what frequency, if so?
Well, Commissioner, my opinion is they are beneficial. I think we need to have them at least through the holidays, if everyone else would agree with that, to try to, reach out and see what organizations can help with through Thanksgiving and Christmas anyway. I would like to at least meet once before each of those holidays come up with this group.
Okay. Do others support that? Okay, seeing some head nods and thumbs up. Do you want to switch to every other week or weekly, or what do you prefer?
I think every other week would be fine.
Okay. Others support that? Okay. And Tony, you had a point to make?
Yes, I just wanted to mention that I have been in touch with the First Lady's office, and I know that things like the holidays and some kind of support to you, the districts that have been impacted, is definitely on her mind. So I want to make sure that you all know that, and maybe we can work on coordinating an effort with her, whether it be jackets or helping with meals or things like that. So I just want you all to know that I have been in contact with her in the past about month or so, and she just wanted to let me know, and then whenever the time was right. So I'll go ahead and make contact with her and her office and see what we can do to help support that.
Great, thanks, Tony. And so following on John's suggestion, if we do every 2 weeks, that would have us meeting again sometime in the week of the 24th, and then again on the week of the 7th, and then again on the week of the 21st. That takes us up to Thanksgiving. And then looking into December, we'd be meeting the week of the 5th. And then the week of the 19th. And so that probably is about right, I think. So we'll plan on scheduling into those dates. So we'll look for invitations in your inbox for those future meetings. Anything else anyone wants to raise or say before we let you go? We appreciate the updates, and I hope that these continue to be beneficial, and just really continue to admire the progress that's being made in your communities. Anything else for our collective benefit before we let each other go? Okay, hearing none. Thanks all for the work that you're doing. We'll see you in a couple of weeks.